Okay, so we're going to use a concept called the square root method. So when we want to solve this, so we're going to take 2x squared plus 14 equals 0. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to get x by itself. So we're going to subtract 14 and subtract 14. These cancel out. You end up with 2x squared is equal to negative 14. This is just like we're trying to solve using the square root method or anytime we want to get x by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by 2 now, and we end up with x squared is equal to negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. And now remember, to get rid of a square root, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take the square root of both sides, and on this right hand side we need to take the plus or minus square root of that number. So we're going to get x squared is equal to plus or minus square root of negative 7. Now over here on the left hand side, the square root and the squared, those cancel each other out, and we're going to get x is equal to plus or minus square root of negative 7. Now take this answer right here, and we can't leave our, take a look at the, you see how it says type exact answers, express complex numbers using I. You see we have a negative number underneath that square root, right? So what we need to do now is we need to pull that negative out. Again, this is from section 3.1. Take a look at the last week's notes or videos for section 3.1. To get the negative out of a square root, we write the what's underneath as a positive, and then we have an I there. Now, how do we represent the plus or minus as two different answers? Well, one of our x's is going to be the positive square root. We don't write the plus sign. So the first one is going to be the positive square root of I. Remember that the I is not under the radical. And the other one will be the negative square root of 7i. So those are going to be our two solutions. And then when we type those in, you would just separate them with a comma, okay? So we would write x is equal to square root of 7i, comma, negative square root of 7i. And just remember when you're putting it in Math Excel to make sure you hit the right arrow key when you get out of the square root to put the I on the outside.